Hello,
Hi,
I'm glad to see you.
I'm very happy to be here too. Thank you.
Oh, Max Speed is now making waves in European wrestling, but every journey has a beginning. Before the titles, before the recognition, there was just a dream and the first step into the unknown. Every wrestler remembers that moment when everything started. You is very, very good wrestler. Max is one of the most exciting rising stars on the European wrestling scene. Competing out of Poland, he has already made a name for himself with his explosive style and charisma. Tell me please about your childhood.
Thank you for this introduction. That was really nice to hear all of it. About my childhood, I'm the only child, so I don't have any brother or sister, and I watched wrestling since I was 13, I guess. I first saw wrestling on TV when I was just 8. But my dad wasn't very happy about it. He said it is probably scripted, it's not a real fight. So I didn't watch it anymore that time. But then when I think it was time when I broke my leg or something, and I had to stay home and had to watch something. And that was the time when this John Cena telephone prank to the restaurant was really very popular in Poland. So I started to looking who John Cena is actually, and I remembered about wrestling from that time when I was younger, and that's how it all started, I guess. Because at that time I started watching some random wrestling matches on YouTube without any chronological stuff and mm, any more knowledge about actual wrestling history and all of it. So I started, and then I went to watching like weekly stuff every Raw and SmackDown and NXT later, and I think that for for this real one, I started watching wrestling from like 2016, I guess. So it's like about 10 years from now. And from the first days, I wanted to be on the other side also. So don't just be a guy who's watching things, but the guy who also is doing some stuff. So this idea for being a real wrestler, not just a viewer, was with me from my childhood, I guess.
Max Speed didn't become a wrestler overnight. Behind every performer, there is a story of courage, passion, and risk. Choosing wrestling is never a typical decision. Max, let's talk about that choice. When did you realize that wrestling is something you want to pursue seriously?
I think that moment came to me really early because, as I said already, I wanted to try it the other way from my beginning in wrestling adventure. But I come from a kind of little town in a little city in Poland, and from that city, it's kind of far for every wrestling school, even now in Poland. So I think I didn't have some credentials to really start my wrestling journey. So I had to wait for my I think studies time at the university, when I can be on my own in my own flat and start my own life. And at that time, I felt that it's finally time for me to do something just for myself, not for my girlfriend, not for my parents, just for myself. And that time I moved to another city, which was actually kind of closer to the wrestling academy. So I decided to just go there for the first time without any idea or any some more feeling about wrestling. I just asked my dad and my girlfriend, is it okay for them? They said, just go, you will see. Don't think about it too much, just go there. And I went for my first training. Uh, it was hard. It was kind of long because trainings at that academy took like 8 hours Saturday and Sundays, so it was like a training weekend. And after this weekend, I felt really bad, and everything hurts in me also. Uh, but I feel like it's kind of my thing, I guess, and I felt that this is really something I would like to do even more in my life. So I started going to some more trainings, and in few months it turned out that I'm coming from my university city to this academy, wrestling academy city, in on every weekend, and I'm leaving my girlfriend on every weekend also, and I'm giving a lot of time to wrestling. Mm, and I think that I feel something in wrestling, and it's kind of coming all to me like naturally, maybe. So I also trained some arts, taekwondo, when I was a child. So that's some basic that are really useful for me in wrestling, uh, and that's how it started basically.
Max, you are very, very good wrestler. I'm sure you are the future world champion. But first step is always the hardest. It takes courage to move from being a fan to stepping into training. How, tell me please about your very, very first training and tell me please about your first coach.
Okay. My first training was, as I said, kind of long because we had a long warm up, and the introduction part was also there. So, who am I and from where I came? Who's my favorite wrestler? What I'm looking for in wrestling. And then we started to do some really basic stuff, like some strikes, I guess, some punches, forearms, some kicks. Also, we are trying to do chops, which were really not nice for me at that time. I still don't like being chopped, but but at the first training was the worst feeling. And after strikes, I think we had some basic bumps, I think. So we really worked on our hand position, and always to remember about tucking your chin to the chest, and trying to not hit your lower back on or ass on the ring. So that was some first tips from my coaches. At that time, my coach was, as it turned out in future, first tag team PTW champion. And he was one of the first PTW academy people who graduate from this academy. So he also followed the same road that I started that time. Mm, there were also some other guys who were really helpful for me, and who really had some good tips and some good advices for me about every single um, step in my wrestling career. So I'm sure that without this first coaches from this basic stuff, I couldn't be here where I am now.
Your way in wrestling is very, very interesting. But what was the hardest part of your wrestling training at the beginning? The hardest part for you?
The hardest part was probably the pain that I felt when I was in wrestling, because as I said, I trained taekwondo, so in this cardio way, I was kind of enough at that time in the ring, but mm, now I'm kind of well built guy, and from the beginning since now I gained like 20-25 kilograms, but at the beginning I was really thin guy. I had like 60 or 65 kilograms just. So every bump, every strike, every suplex or even roll on the ring was kind of painful for me. And just taking few bumps in the beginning of the trainings were kind of painful, and I think that this is the biggest thing that I remember from my first trainings, and also the way that I had to go from this university city, Poznań, to Katowice. It was like 4.5, 4 hours by train. So this every weekend going there, staying there in some hostel or really cheap hotel because I was still student, so I didn't have much money for accommodation and for good food, and I all of my money I wanted to give to the wrestling academy to train there. So it was hard time for me, but having in mind that I'm doing it for some purpose and for trying to achieve my dream was really carrying me through this whole time. And now when I'm looking at it, it was fun.
But you always move forward. You never give up. Your way is better and better every single day. Every wrestler struggles with doubt in the early stages. That's part of the process. Did you ever doubt yourself when you first started wrestling?
Mm, to be honest, I don't think so, because I started it without any bigger goal, if I can say it. It was like I started it and I just go with the flow without any bigger ideas or any more hopes. I'm still very happy to do this, and even if some matches or some moves or some bookings that I'm still trying to get in some European countries uh, don't get to success, I'm still happy just for doing it because I know it's really hard and it's a really long way. And about the doubt, I don't know. I think that I'm just trying to do stuff and trying to be better from month to month. And for now, I didn't feel the doubt, but maybe in the future, I don't know. We'll see.
Next, I want to hear about your first fight. That first experience is unforgettable for every wrestler. It's where reality hits. Tell me please about your first fight.
My first match was like 8 minutes or 6 minutes, and I it happened about like 8 months after me starting trainings, and I got information about my debut, and I also got information about the story of the match, because the story was that I'm a newcomer and just a guy from the academy, and some other guy. I was face from the beginning, and that other guy was heel. And the story about him was that now he has to show that he can be a sportsmanship guy, and he can follow the rules, and he can be a nice guy actually. So it was kind of an open challenge, but everyone knew that there will be some newcomer for that time. So the story was that he is a much bigger guy than me, and he's trying to not kill me in the ring actually, but just have a match and try to really follow the rules and be loyal to all of the audience and referee. And the end of the match was that he's trying to actually kill me because he's just a kill, and he grabbed my leg and trying to break it or something, but some other guy came and rescued me because he was actually the opponent of that heelish guy, and so that was my debut. I called my girlfriend to come there and all of my friends to come there also. I had my friend from the academy who started wrestling the same day with me, and he also was at that time on this show. And he was some staff guy or something, but he was really also excited about my debut. I was really also excited, really nervous, but I got this information about my debut about month or month and a half ago. So I had time to prepare myself. I talked a lot about my this debut with my coaches, with that Hillish guy, my opponent of this first match. And it turned out after this match that he's really nice in person. And later we started to train with each other in his gym because he's a personal trainer. And actually, he is the reason why I look like this for now, because he guided me from the beginning and from the first days in gym. And that guy is still in my life for some reason. But this debut was something that I needed at that time, I think, because my progress on trainings uh, maybe not stopped, but needed something more, maybe some more crowd work and some new experiences that I can't feel on trainings. With this entrance and lights and music and just working the crowd all the time, and I can say that this energy and this adrenaline and all of the feeling actually in match is a lot of different than this energy on trainings, because even if you're doing some training matches and even if you're trying to give 100% of energy on trainings, it's never just the same as in actual match. So this feeling for the first time, how it is actually to be in the match, was unforgettable. And looking from my position right now at that time and having in mind the whole progress that I did from my first match to my 50 or 52 match from now, it's like wow.
Your first match is unforgettable. Every wrestler has people who help along the way. You did a great job. Well done. I respect you. But support is crucial at the beginning. Let's talk about your cycle. Who supported you the most when you were just starting?
Mm. The biggest supporters are definitely At that time, my girlfriend and now my fiance, my future wife actually, because we will have our wedding in like 5 or 6 months from now, and definitely my father, because she they both kind of pushed me to the first trainings, and she was really patient about me leaving every weekend. She really cared about my food at the trainings, and she also helped me to spare some money for the trainings also, and for after this for the abroad bookings and bookings in Poland also. And she's just a supporter when I'm coming home and telling that this is hard, this is hard, this is hard. I'm feeling hurt about something, and she's always there. She listens and she helps me with basically anything from massaging my shoulder in pain or preparing me for another booking weekend. So she's from the beginning with me at that journey. And my dad also, uh, just some weeks before my first training, it was my birthday, and he just gave me money for the present on that birthday, and he said that I can use it for the wrestling training. So I bought my first wrestling shoes, my first knee pads, my first elbow pads. I booked my first hostel and all of the stuff. And he also knew about my passion to wrestling from the childhood years. And when he heard about this idea to go to wrestling training, uh, he he was kind of happy about it, because he understood that I I found something that I'm really, maybe not good, but something that I can do for myself and be happy about it. So supporters are from that time were and now are my fiance and father.
If you could go back, what advice would you give to you younger younger self at the start of your wrestling career?
Watch a lot of wrestling, not only WWE and some mainstream promotions, but also some indie wrestling from Europe, from Great Britain, from every single place in the world. Watch a lot of wrestling and take some inspirations, take some advices from wrestlers, from coaches, listen to some podcasts, just be in the business, and take this knowledge from every part of it that you can mm, look at, I don't know, social medias or some other platforms. And that's the first one. And the second one, but also as important as the first one, go to the gym, because wrestling is so physical sport, and being a thin guy in the ring, it's it's not just dangerous for you, because you can take a bump and break bone, I don't know, because you're without muscles and your body is so delicate, and everything really hurts without muscles. But also wrestling needs being athletic. So if you're not going to the gym, you can't be as athletic as the guys that are going to the gym. And the second thing, wrestling is a visual performance. So when fans are coming to the venue, they are looking for fighters. When they are looking at the ring, they would like to see some badass guys that actually can fight. And when they see some normal guy, normal looking guy, they don't believe that you actually are a fighter and that you are really a guy who can fight and can have a good match. So go to the gym, keep your diet, and watch wrestling.
At the beginning of the interview, you mentioned John Cena. So I want to talk for him in more detail. I want to know your opinion about John Cena. For me, John Cena is more than just a wrestler. He is a symbol of discipline and consistency. I have always respected how he carried an entire company on his shoulders for years, many years. His work ethic is something that every wrestler should look up to. He proved that being the face of a brand is not easy, but he made it look natural. And most important, he never stopped believing in his message. What does John Cena mean to you as a performer and as a person, in your opinion?
As a performer, when I'm looking at John Cena, he's the definition of wrestling, the definition of how the wrestler should look, how their matches should be created, and the whole history, how it should be developed. So he's just a personification of good professional wrestler. And as a person, mm, I like films where John Cena is playing because I like the whole Fast and Furious franchise. So these parts with him were really nice. I remember one part. It's probably the newest one, Fast and Furious 10 or X, when he's doing AA on some guy with black mask through the table. So when I was in cinema and I saw this fragment of film, I was really happy and excited at the audience. But I know about he's doing some charity work and also helping some new WWE talents and hosting WrestleMania and all of his work behind the curtain. So I think that this guy gave wrestling a lot of more than just some good matches and good promos.
John Cena has always been someone who never gave up, no matter the situation. That mentality made him stand out from everyone else. Even when fans were divided, he stayed true to himself. I respect how strong he was mentally through all the pressure. That kind of mindset builds legends. How much has John Cena's never give up mentality influenced you?
I think it influenced me enough to when I left my last work and I changed it to the work I have now. I got from my work colleagues like a little Funko Pop figure with John Cena and his towel never give up. And the first thing I brought to my new workplace is this thing. And when I have some really hard times in work, I'm just looking at this little Funko Pop and thinking about my journey in my work and also in resting and life. And I'm thinking that it's something that really pushes me to some new directions. And this catchphrase is so easy, so everyone can understand it, and it's really easy to feel like. in your way. So maybe it's not something that I'm thinking about every day, but when I see some promos about the whole John Cena career, I understand that this catchphrase really has big meaning for every fan. And when I saw his farewell tour, also I felt something in me because, as I said, that was my first impression of wrestling in my whole life. So it means something.
Farewell tours, John Cena, forever in my heart. John Cena wasn't just about winning titles, he was about inspiring people. His connection with fans, especially kids, was something special. He showed that wrestling can go beyond the ring. I think that what made him different from many others. He became a real role model. Do you think today's wrestler can still reach the level of connection with fans that John Cena had?
I think yes, because when we see some kind of new stars in WWE, we can see that a lot of them have this connection with audience. First in mind, I have LA Knight or Jey Uso, that they really have this something with audience. But I think time has changed a little bit because now we have social media. The thing that when John Cena had his prime, we can say he didn't have this tool. And also, for now, I'm not sure that wrestling is as popular, maybe, as it was in John Cena's prime time. Um, but when we look just at WWE audience and fans all over the world, but fans that are into wrestling, I think we still can see some characters that have this really good relationship with audience. So yeah.
I agree with you. 100%. Absolutely. John Cena always knew how to perform on the biggest stage. When the pressure was highest, he delivered. That's what defines a true main event superstar. I have always admired how they handle those moments. Not everyone can do that. What made John Cena so successful in big matches and main events? I remember I remember his big matches versus JBL Judgment Day, versus Batista Over the Limit, versus Randy Orton Breaking Point 2009. This is big matches versus Randy Orton Bragging Nights 2009 or Iron Man. What made John Cena so successful in big matches and main events?
Mm, Maybe he just knew his rule and he knew what he has to do to get the audience over. That's a thing that we can all learn from him, to develop and try to adapt and just try some things and look if they can work or not. And from my perspective, I think that he kind of found something that really works for him. Maybe for other guys, it won't work as good as for him, but he found it and he used it, but not the same way all of the time. So knowing the character and knowing also what the audience would like to see from your character is crucial here.
John Cena's legacy in wrestling is undeniable. He influenced an entire generation of wrestlers around the world. Even now, his name still carries massive respect. I believe his impact will last for decades. He set a standard that's very hard to reach. Do you see any wrestler today who could reach the same level as John Cena? For example, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins.
Mm, yes, this example that you gave are are already enough. Mm, Maybe CM Punk is also the good example, but his whole history and his whole fan base is a lot of different than the John Cena fan base. When I think about John Cena fan base, as you said earlier, I'm thinking about children basically, and some young guys that really would like to see their hero conquering some achievements. Uh, Maybe, and actually, John Cena was face most of his career. So we have to think about some other face-ish guy probably. But yeah, Seth Rollins is really good example. Mm, and Reigns, yeah, also. From my perspective, it's kind of harder for me to look at the business because when I started to be a wrestler, the perspective a little changed for me. And even now, when I'm watching wrestling, I most of the time I can't feel this fun energy because I'm looking at it and searching for some stuff that I can take to myself, and also looking at it more technically and more looking for some insights when I'm just watching a random match. So this question is kind of hard for me to answer because I'm not sure if I can look at the wrestling in the same perspective that I looked before my trainings.
Next, I wanna to talk about your fight versus Igor Turam. It was not just another fight. It was a chance to become world champion, according to the version Ukrainian Wrestling Arena. The stakes were at the absolute highest and the pressure was real. Moments like this define a wrestler path. Max, let's go back to that night. What was going through your mind before your world title match against Igor Turam?
Mm. First of all, I was really happy and surprised that I can come to another country, and my very first match is first of all main event, and second of all it's for the world title. So it was really really nice thing to be a part of it, and I watched the whole show before my match from the balustrade up there, and I saw the crowd. I heard the crowd. I saw the whole production stuff with the stage, with the LED screen, and the whole production with cameras and music. And I was really excited to just be there, and being in the main event for the title with Igor was really big thing for me. And when we met before our match, And when I saw his Instagram also, I could see that he's really athletic guy. He looks good, he moves good, he has very athletic skills in the ring because he's really strong. When I felt him holding me on his shoulders or just going behind me and having me in the waistlock, I really felt that he's very static and strong guy, but also he's really fast and a really agile guy. So working with him was really a pleasure, and also being in this spotlight just for the first time. I still at that time I still didn't feel like I'm a super experienced guy, so being thrown in some deep water to try to navigate with myself and him was kind of challenging for me, uh, especially that this was one of my first booking in new countries, because at that time I only performed in Hungary and Italy, I think. So that this was completely new direction for me. And in Austria also. But still, that was my first alone journey and that far, and to some other country, not in Central or Western Europe. But I felt this whole thing like a big opportunity for myself and to develop myself, to help develop Igor, for him to give a good match, and also to show fans that I am the guy that they can really care about. So this whole thing was very nice to me, and being in the ring for that long was great.
That match against Igor Turam showed a different side of Max speed. You were fighting not just for victory, but for your place at the top. Even in defeat, those moments built character. Fans saw the intensity and wish to victory. Max, let's talk about the fight itself. At, at that moment in the match, did you feel like the victory was slipping away?
Mm, Maybe in the end, a little bit, but Igor is really tough guy, and every time I saw him down on the mat and trying to pin him, and every time I thought that I got him, he tried to stand up, so it was really hard to put him finally down, which I didn't do actually. He has really good ring awareness also, and even trying to running around him was kind of hard because, as I had said, he's really fast guy. And but after the match, he showed me respect, so there is no bad blood between us after this match, and I think that there can be a time that I can finally beat him, maybe.
Losing a world title match is never easy. It's not just a loss, it's a missed opportunity that doesn't come often. But those moments can either break you or make you stronger. This is where real fighters grow. What was the first thought you had right after losing to Turam?
Mm, First thought was I don't remember because when I got hit with his elbow to my head, I just laid down, and I don't remember much from that time. Uh, but the first thought was that he's actually really good for the first thing. And the second is that maybe it's not my time at that point for being a champion, but also the thing that I had in mind was about the fans, the whole audience. And after the match, the first thing I had in mind was that I really would like to come back, even if it's not for the title or even if it's not for some big prize in UWA. I really would like to come back. Really would like to show fans other side of me, show some new stuff that I can bring with myself. So even defeated, I was kind of happy that I could give the fans the emotions, the story, and really good some match that they can rewatch maybe and just feel good about being there and feeling the whole segment with me and Igor.
That match added something important to your experience. Even without the title, you proved that you belong at that level. Not everyone gets that close to becoming world champion, and that says a lot about you. What did that loss teach you about yourself as a wrestler?
Mm, that loss taught me that I can lose the match for the championship, but I can still be a good guy to the other guy that beat me, and I also can get up next day and look at the mirror and think that I'm the guy that really was close. And the only thing that I have to do is to wait for my time to be on the top. But all in all, I felt really good about this match, even if I didn't win, because the time I had there and after the match with fans was really good. And winning a title is really nice, but even being in a match for the title is also a really cool experience and something that can teach you that you actually belong in the main event picture.
A loss like that doesn't end the story. It starts a new chapter. Fans now see you as someone who can fight for the biggest prize. There is unfinished business in the air, and rematches are part of wrestling history. Do you want a rematch against Igor Turam for the world title, but in Poland?
Oh, that's a really nice question. Yes, of course, I would like to have a rematch for the title. Because something tells me that if I lost on his ground, maybe he can lose on my ground. So then we have 1-1, and maybe the third match is needed to declare the real champion. And I think that it is really good opportunity for Polish fans to see Igor as a pure athlete and really good worker that he actually is. So if there is an opportunity for us to cross our paths again in Poland, hell yes.
So let's do it. Max Speed versus Igor Turam 2 in Poland.
I'm very happy to do this.
What did it mean for you to become underground champion in prime time wrestling?
Primetime Wrestling was the first promotion I was part of, and even though I'm not there anymore, I feel like this is my promotion when that's a special place for me because I started trainings there. I had my first match there. I become someday a coach there also for the first time. So I did my first trainings for some newcomers. I trained my first trainee and also give him the debut match with myself. And I kind of feel that I helped create PTW as it is right now because I really helped with moving on to another location and help to create the whole this new location with the ring and stuff. And when I talked to the promoter about the whole PTW Underground Championship tournament, I felt that this is really important thing because we already had our main champion there for like at that time for like year and few months, and I already lost to him. So this main event picture, this main title picture was already taken, and PTW Underground Championship was the championship for some workers, like workhorses that are day in day out in the ring, that are going to the gym and are still progressing and grinding and going to other promotions in Europe and trying their best. So becoming first inaugural PTW Underground champion was like crowning my whole work and whole progress from the first training to the night I became the champion. So I was really proud of myself. I invited my whole family to this event, and this match was like 20-25 minutes with a lot of interferences like in end game, so our storyline crossed, and the whole match was a ladder match. So, and that was the also the final of the PTW Underground Championship tournament. So we both were after like 2 or 3 matches a month ago just to go in the whole brace. And when we finally clash, the other guy was also my opponent in storyline, not only in this tournament. And we kind of didn't like each other in personal ways, if you know what I mean. So this whole thing with this underground championship was really important to me. That was also my first and for now only championship. And after this night, when I finally won it, I celebrated with my fiance, with my with my dad, with my family and her family also. We go to McDonald's and sat there and ate some good cake and just chill. And that was really good time for me. And for the first week or even 2 weeks, I guess, I just slept with this title. I put this title near my bed or when I was working from home near my desk, so I could see just the title, and it was really it has really big meaning to me that I'm I'm just the first champion, so it was really important.
How did you handle coming close to winning the legacy of wrestling and pay-per-view titles but falling short?
Mm, After I left PTW, I got some opportunities in other wrestling promotions in Poland, and in very short time, I found a way to go to main title picture also. So first I had a match in December last year. It was a multi-man match for the inaugural Legacy Wrestling champion. I lost, but I had a really good moment of the whole show because in the venue there was a balcony over the ring, and when I entered the venue at that time, I saw the balcony, and the first thing in my head was I had to jump from this thing, and it was like I don't know, maybe 10 meters or even more, and we had a multi-man match, so there was like 5 or 6 other guys other than me, and well, and still when I jumped from this balcony, something happened with my ankle, but I somehow managed to finish the match, but still lost. Okay. And then I had once again opportunity to fight for the Legacy Wrestling Championship in March in another promotion, MDW in Poland also, but I also lost. This guy is a he's a prick, and he cheated to to win with me. But the whole match was really big battle for me, and I was kind of hurt after it. And in another promotion, PPW in Poland, I had a again main event for the main title, and it was dog collar match. So it was really exhausting match. I was really hurt after it. My elbows hurt, my whole back hurt because being hit with the chain from the bigger guy, bigger than me, it's really painful. So all in all, maybe 3 matches in a row for the titles. Last time I was defeated, but just being in this main title picture and being in main event is really important to me, and it's also showing the fans that I still can be this guy even if I can't actually win the title.
Max Speed brings a unique mix of athleticism and personality into the ring. Fans appreciate not only his in ring ability, but also his presence as a performer. He represents a new generation of wrestlers in Europe. Max, let's go deeper in your style. How would you describe your wrestling style?
It,
Styles make fights.
it's kind of hard for me because I'm not a typical high flyer because I don't do as many rope tricks and flips all over the ring, but I'm not also a heavyweight because I'm still even if I have some muscle, I'm a short guy, so it's not the heavyweight class. Also, the technical, still I'm not sure because I don't use any submissions in my matches. Maybe some brawler, but or striker, but still I like to do some flippy stuff and just use ropes, a lot of them, not just pure fighting and striking. So I kind of mix things because, as I said, even if my some parts of my matches I mix going from the top rope and going through the ropes, just running and striking. So it's kind of hard to define what my style is, but I think it's max speed style, just my style. But when fans can see my way of doing wrestling, I think they can understand what I'm trying to show them, and I'm not sure if defining this whole style is really important there. Maybe it's more important to just to watch and feel what I'm trying to show all the people.
Wow, your style is amazing. You are very technical wrestler, very technical. You are not just about titles. You are about proving yourself every time. Steps into the ring. Fans see your passion and energy in every performance. That's what makes you stand out. Let's talk about your motivation. What drives you to keep pushing forward in wrestling every single day?
I'm just trying to be the better version of myself. As and when I'm watching my previous matches, and when I'm doing a tape study of some older stuff from me, I'm looking for the things that I did the wrong way. So this feeling that I have inside of me is to avoid all of the mistakes in my matches, but it's impossible actually to do and to deliver this perfect match without any mistake. So just it's like creating a list of things that I would like to do in a match, and every time I'm adding a new task to do in a match, to think about footwork, to think about selling, to think about facials, to think about vocals. So it's like checking all of the boxes and trying to check all of them in the good good way, like from the first one to the last one. And mm, I improving is kind of something that gives me good feeling. The best feeling that I have, for example, like in going to the gym, is to progress from from one weight to another, and the same way I'm trying to look at wrestling. So when I'm looking at one match and then looking at another one, and I see that I completed some new stuff and I managed to improve some little details. I'm very happy about it, but I still have in my mind that I have a lot of work to do. So for now, grinding is something that gives me some dopamine, probably. So I have some energy for improving, and I'm happy about it.
Who has been your toughest opponent so far and why?
My toughest opponent from abroad was probably Igor, because he's big, he's strong, he's fast, and I couldn't find a way to put him down. And I also spent a lot of time in the ring with him, so I felt his strikes and all of things. And in Poland, I think from my last matches, Olgierd was really hard opponent. Maybe it's also because in our match we had this dog collar thing, so maybe it's something that makes him even tougher opponent. And also really hard hitting was Jakub from this Legacy Wrestling Championship match, because he's really hard hitting guy, and he's using a lot of ways to get you hurt.
Yes, Igor Turam is very strong, but you will find the key to winning in a rematch over him. Do you know how to beat him in a rematch if it happens?
For now, I don't, but maybe if I got information that we will have a rematch, I will definitely rewatch our match from August or September, August last year, if I remember correctly. I will rewatch it and think about some ways, uh, and maybe I can ask some other guys from UWA with who I drank some beer last time. So I think I have some mates there in Kiev, and I will definitely ask them, how can I become UWA champion?
Being a champion comes with responsibility and expectations. Fans look at you differently once you hold gold. Max has already experienced that pressure. Max, let's talk about being a champion. Did winning the Underground Championship change your mindset as a wrestler?
Mm, kind of yes, because I felt that for now, some more eyes are looking at me, and maybe from not only wrestler itself but worker perspective, it's like being a champion in the locker room kind of sets the hier- hierarchy in other ways. So some newcomers and younger guys are looking at you and coming to you with some questions, and just being a champion is a responsibility that you have to think when you become a champion. And also it's really hard to keep your head cold, because it's really easy to think of yourself that you're the best in the world because you have the title, but it's not that way. You still have to keep your mind and feet on the ground and really focus on yourself or your development, and try to not be a prick just because you won the title.
Tell me please about your crown reception, your finisher.
My finisher is Code Breaker, or another name of it is Slang Blower.
Chris Jericho.
Yes, but to be honest, I didn't take it from him because I wasn't a big fan of him anytime. I like his style and I of course respect the wrestler, but when I was looking for some finisher, I talked with my coaches that I need something really quick, something that I can do from every part of the ring, something that I can do from every position, even from ropes or from standing, from sitting position, something that I can easily counter other moves to my finisher. And also, at that time, when I was thinking about my finisher, I wasn't that big, so I needed something that isn't connected with taking and throwing people away. I didn't want to use some cutter from standing position on from the ropes because it's really too famous and used induced by too many wrestlers. So I was looking for something else, and from my perspective now, think that this this choosing of Codebreaker was really good decision. and it's also easy, really easy and nice to counter from my opponents, because you can do a lot of stuff with a guy just hoping on you, hoping on you, on your chest. So, and also I think that it's easy to understand and fans understand it, and other guys also understand it. It's easy to follow, and it's easy to understand what actually happened and where the damage was done on my opponent, by I jumping and taking his head on my knees and stuff to the up and down. So it's really also good in visual way. It's like stunner. The guy is just popping up after the receiving code breaker. So it's easy to sell, easy to take, easy to give. And for now, I really don't like to change my finish with this land blower.
What is your favorite crown reception finisher for the whole history of wrestling?
When I was a kid, I really like chokeslam because it's really impactful and it's really visual. Uh, Later, I liked mm, a lot of drivers, especially tombstone pile driver, seating pile driver, package pile driver. Because in my mind, when you have another guy and you are just throwing the guy head down to the ground, just piling him to the mat, it's like destroying the whole body. So, and I'm also doing a pile driver from time to time in my matches, and I really like this move. Uh, from now, I really like spear. It's also really visual, and it can be do in some surprising ways when you don't feel that it is coming. I liked AA also, John Cena's finisher, of course. Uh, I wasn't a big fan of 619 because for me the setup for this movement was kind of too difficult, because you have to flip the guy to the second rope and then go away and then come back. So I wasn't a big fan of it. Mm,
Batista Bomb.
yes, the power, yes, uh, but in this case, I was thinking about, it's like with the chokeslam. I'm thinking about myself doing this move, and I can't see myself doing chokeslam or bump. It's power bump. It's really nice to see. For me, it's not that nice to take power bump because it's a really big bump from the top, and it's really hurts a lot. But yes, from this visual perspective, of course.
I very like finishers, Batista Bombs, and Last Ride.
Yes, of course. But taking it, it hurts.
What is your ultimate goal in professional wrestling?
It's a really hard question for me, because for now I'm just trying to go with the flow and to be the best version of myself, and trying to be better in every match than I was in the previous one. And I can't look at the biggest goal, because life taught me that everything is so unexpected, and you it's really hard to look for something, and especially in wrestling. mm, a year ago, probably I couldn't think about my career and the mm, that my career will be that fast, and the place when I am now with 3 or 4 matches monthly, which is really hard to think about when I was at that place a year ago. So the biggest direction for me, I guess, is just grinding and going to other countries and working with a lot of new guys, with the guys I didn't have occasion to work with them in the Polish scene also. And I think for me, thinking about the bigger goal could be harder because when I'm doing things now without thinking about some future stuff, I'm the happiest man. So just being in the place right now and doing things right now at the moment is the best thing for me.
You represent a new wave of European wrestlers trying to break through internationally. The competition globally is stronger than ever, but that also creates opportunities. Do you see yourself wrestling internationally outside of Poland soon?
Soon, yes, I will come back to Hungary on June. Probably I will come back also to Germany on June or on holiday in July and August. I would love to come back to Sevilla in Spain because the whole show was really nice and the city was really nice. I really liked Seville. Mm, I had some plans to go to Scandinavian countries, but for now I'm not sure if I can do this. Uh, and that's it in that part. And my goal for this year is also probably to come back to Ukraine because I would really like to visit you again and give the fans a match that they deserve.
And my last question. Max Speed is building not only a career, but a brand. Fans connect with personalities as much as performances. That connection is key in modern wrestling. Let's talk about your identity. What makes Max Speed different from other wrestlers in the ring today?
I think the athletic look is one of it because actually when you look at the whole indie wrestling scene, that it's clear that not all of the guys are going to gym and keeping their diet good. So the look is one of it. Even if I'm still shorter guy, I got some muscles. uh, Other thing that is important about me is this crowd connection, I guess, because everywhere I go, I really feel that the fans understand my persona and they also understand what I would like to give them. It's and it's not important if it's in Poland or in other countries or it's about children or other guys. I think that I kind of feel the crowd and the crowd of kind of feel myself. So just just this connection between me and crowd is really important part of the whole Maxi persona. And also from month to month, I'm trying to be faster and faster and working on some details like footwork and rope work and thinking about how can I move to be actual faster and look faster also to the crowd. It's really big thing that I'm working on right now.
Max, thank you so much for this honest and powerful interview. I truly
Thank you.
appreciate your time and the way you shared your journey, your mindset, and your story with us. It's clear that you have the heart, the discipline, and the drive of a true champion. Moments like these are just part of the path, not the end of it. I wish you nothing but success on your road ahead. Keep pushing, keep evolving, and I truly believe your time to become world champion is coming.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here, and thank you for this really good conversation. And I hope to come soon to UWA again.
Good luck, champ. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.